This is Sahilan, BS Ed2 English. So for today's video, I'm going to talk about audio-visual aids. So now, let's get started! What are audio-visual aids? According to Kinder, audio-visual aids are any device which can be used to make the learning more effective, more concrete, more realistic, and more dynamic. Which is an example for that is using projector and a speaker in teaching. The objectives of using audiovisual aids is to increase the effectiveness of the teaching, to hold the attention span of the learner for the duration of instruction, and to save time. We learn and retain. Higher levels of retention can be achieved through active involvement in learning. So to keep the learners maintain their attention, 50% of what we hear and see. Example for that is we can use video presentations to the learners. 30% of what we see. We can use pictures to that, or the teacher will write examples on the board. 20% of what we hear is the explanation or the discussion of the teacher. Or teachers can also ask questions to students so they can express and their thoughts too. 10% of what we read is let the learners read for them to review what they learn. One picture worth 10,000 words in old Chinese proverb. I believe you can talk for 30 minutes in this video. Definition of audiovisual aids. You can expand more and think more to that. This is the educational significance or the importance of teaching aids. So use of all sense organs. Based on maxims of teaching. Helpful in drawing attention. A good motivating force. A good substitute for direct experience. Provide clarity in subject matter. Helps in mixing up new learning. Meet the individual difference requirements. Facilitates quick comprehension and retention of concepts. Encourages healthy classroom interaction. Helps in positive transfer of learning. Solve the problem of verbalism. Reduces meaningless words. Quicken the phase of learning. Overcome possible hurdles during the teaching. So I'm gonna share to you the characteristics of teaching aids, basically the advantages. So it is accurate to both teachers and learners. It is simple and cheap. It will motivate the learners. Meaningful and purposeful. It is improvised. Large in size. Comprehensibility. Interesting. Cost effective. Availability. Transportability. Appropriateness and relevance. If there's advantage in audiovisual aids, there's also a problems or limitations in the use of audiovisual aids. The apathy of teachers. It is where man rather inertial when it comes to accepting change. A vast majority of teachers still prefer to use the chalk talk method through which they were taught. Hence, they are generally change resistant. Indifference of students. Judicious use of teaching aids will arouse interest, but sometimes it could enhance boredom and indifference at times. Financial problems. The one-time investment in these aids is costly and may not be affordable by all schools. Absence of infrastructure. Lack of basic classroom facilities, electricity, projectors, chart stands, laboratory rooms where to keep models, posters, specimens, and many more. Language barriers. Mostly, software is in English like films, CD, audio, cassettes, hence not suitable to regional medium schools. Do not replace the teacher. Letters and symbols are illegible. Colors are misused. Require more time for planning preparation. Tempts the teacher to narrow down the subject. Few aids require sources for fixation, electrical, sockets, and electricity. The one who is using should know the operation and principles. So there are 6 different classification of audiovisual aids. First, traditional type of classification, which consists of audio aids. Example of audio aids are radio, tape recorder, mic, CDs, microphone, dictaphone, headphone, gramophone, and megaphone. Visual aids like chalkboard, bulletin board, chart, drawings, posters, pictures, exhibits, flashcards, flannel boards, illustrated boards, album, scrapbook, magnetic board, maps, graphs, photographs, OHP, magic lantern, ideoscope, model, slides, silent films, and audiovisual aids like lecture, demonstration, televisions, films, computers, video, tapes, VCDs, DVDs, LCDs. Second classification based on type of projection, which consists of projected aids or projecting visuals on screen like silent motion pictures, film strips, magic lanterns, micro projection, slide projection, opaque, and overhead projector. And non-projected aids like different types of boards, display material, photographs, posters, maps, and graph charts, model specimens, books, and illustrations. Third classification based on motion or movement is divided into 2: static aids and dynamic aids. Static aids are those used in classroom teaching, which do not move. For example, charts, flashcards, slides, OHP, and many more. Dynamic aids are those aids in which visual or parts which are capable of being made to move by mechanical principles, for example, working models, motion pictures, television, and computers. Fourth classification based on dimensions of object is divided into 2: the 2 and 3-dimensional aids. In 2-dimensional aids, width and height are only visible. Example, charts, graphs, maps, pictograph, and boards of different types. In 3-dimensional aids, length, breadth, and height are visible. Example, models, globes, objects, mock-ups, specimens, and puppets. Fifth, teaching aids based on size of media. There are 2 types. Big media includes computer and television, and little media includes radio, film, strip, graphics, audio, cassettes, and many more. 6. Teaching aids based on the number of sense organs used. There are 2 types. The first one is unimodal. Unimodal is those in which only one type of sense, either sight or auditory, in use. For example, audio aids or visual aids. And the second type is bimodal. Bimodal is those in which both the sense organs, visual and auditory, are used. They could be classified as electronic and non-electronic. Examples for electronic are overhead projector, slide projector, and computer, while non-electric are books, handouts, chalk, and board, mannequins, models, and flip charts. So before you teach, there are steps. First, you need planning. Know clearly the objectives of the presentation. You should plan well in advance. Anticipate the problem. Anticipate the size of audience. Think about the quality of material to be used, appropriateness to the subject, availability of facilities for its use, and manner in which it is to be used. Second, you need preparation. Select a convenient and comfortable place. Seating arrangement must be suitable. Make sure that all equipment are in working order before presentation. Prepare by rehearsing to make smooth presentation. Third is presentation. Motivate the audience and stress key points they observe during the presentation. Present aids at the right moment in a proper sequence. Display only one aid at a time. Remove all unrelated materials. Stand beside the aid, not in front of it. Fourth is evaluation. It is by providing discussion and feedback evaluate the effectiveness of audiovisual aids and the lecture. After stating the steps, let's go now to the principles in audiovisual aids. First principle is the principles of selection. Second is the principle of preparation. Third is the principles of physical control. Fourth is the proper presentation. Fifth is the principle of response. Sixth is the principle of evaluation. In order to have a smooth class, the following principle must be followed. So now I'm gonna share some audiovisual tips. Number 1, select the correct aid, which is connect to the topic. Number 2, prepare prior to instruction. Number 3, be familiar with the equipment. You should familiarize the equipments that you will use to have a smooth class. Number 4, know how to use the aid. Number 5, make sure all students can see and hear the aid. Number 6, you should check for effect on the class. Number 7, practice using different types of aids. Number 8, you should be flexible. Number 9, select an audiovisual aid that is appropriate for teaching and learning. And lastly, number 10, the objective. You should know prepared objectives so that you can get your goal. So that's it for today's vlog. I hope you enjoyed watching my video and I hope you learned something about it. Thank you for watching. I hope you like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos. Goodbye!